Welcome, welcome, welcome to this quantum conversation. I'm Loren Gailey, and today we are stepping in the quantum realm to receive some light language. And my guest today is Audrey Light Language. The interesting thing is that lots of people have been receiving this light language, and this light language is higher dimensional frequencies. And that happened with Audrey Light Language. So we're going to hear her story and we're going to receive an activation. Audrey, thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me, Lauren, back. I do so appreciate it. As I said, I wanted to share with everyone. You so lovingly found me years back, and you felt the work, and you were drawn to invite me on. And you were so beautiful because at that point I had never done this or have a package or anything. And you were so dear, and being the loving, beautiful heart that you are, and you help it get it all together for me. So I was able to be first with you in this type of forum. So I'm so glad and happy to be back with you and your beautiful audience and listeners. So thank you so much for that and this opportunity. Thank you.
Let's take a moment and hear how this came to you, this light language, because when we talk about this window of 2012 and the great shift of the ages and the alignment in the cosmos, this had a connection and a part in your life as well. So share with us that story.
Yes. Actually, I was just living my life, mom, wife, all of that, and
Keep going.
when my children had gotten older, that's when everything had begun. Because before then, I was living my life from my heart as a Christed one. The only thing in this world that made sense to me was, what is the problem with do unto others? What you would not like done unto you, don't do to another. So I was living my life from my heart, always helping so many people. No matter what was going on in my life, always lifting them up to the light. Your cup is half full, not half empty. So that was my beingness already expressing through me, and then right before the 2012, had occurred. So I was beginning to do things like this, energy moving all through me, right? Spinning me about and around. And I'm like, what is going on here? And then one day I was levitated. So I was bringing through the beings of light. I was doing energy work with my hands. I was doing many automatic writing messages for myself, and that I shared out on YouTube for free with many people to bring the messages and the work through in that way. And then one day, as it was a process for me, because they couldn't overload me with that amount of energy coming through it all at one time, I just began to speak the languages of light, and they would come through. The beings of light, which don't do this work, but are very high vibrational beings that channel through me, they would come in to work with people. Eventually, as we're going to talk about today, the work progressed, and I spoke the language of the Akash, right, as well as the light language. So the language of the Akash is to go in, not to read it, but to rewrite it, right? Because we don't want the old recipes, so to say, or maps or agreements and such, right? And what is contaminated in that, right, from the old stories that went on, So this work is the language of the Akash to rewrite the Akash for everyone. And then the last portion of the work, now coming through as well, is speaking the number language of creation, right, of source, which the numbers make up the sacred geometrics. They make up everything, because we have moved away from traditional language, because traditional language has been contaminated. The boxes they want to keep people in, or dumbed down, right? They get stuck in their mind with belief systems and concepts, right? So they twist and turn in that. I say they're like potholes or speed bumps upon the road, and we don't want to be held up by that. This is a quickening, right? Quantum, as your beautiful name of your show, right? To go quicker. So these tools have come in for me to help others to move at a much quicker rate, right? And so the number language also assists them to move quickly and to get out of their mind, the labyrinth. The beautiful thing was, though, I didn't look for this, right? I didn't have to go through a hard time where people sometimes feel like I had such a hard journey to get to find this, to get to this. I didn't have to do that. I always lived from the heart, being natural. I didn't have to do ayahuasca. I didn't have to sit with rishis. I didn't have to go study with people. I didn't have to go to sacred places around the world. The reasons why not is because I am, right, learning as you go through this whole thing, remembering, actually recalling, getting the information that I am like Elohim and embody, a creator being, a weaver of codes of creation, right? So rather than stay there, right, in the ether, so to say, on those levels and reach, I've come into embodiment. I am not a walk-in, any of those things, the other ways that people have gotten here to, right? So it is so beautiful because it's an example for people. I'm here today to offer the invitation to them to make this so simple, for them, and powerful and quick. And they don't have to toss and turn in language and concepts and all of this, because this is who we are. This is recalling, remembering, taking back what is ours. It's ours. We are a creator being. We stepped into a forgetting experiment in answer to creation's call, us and it being one and the same, right? To explore the lower vibrations of consciousness of creation. What would we be, eternal beings, the I am presence, right? If we forgot that which we are. So we went to play in that. What is it to die, right? What is it to be angry, sad, upset, experience all these lower vibration things? Many beings played their part in this experimenting game, yes? And because of this, they became so low in the vibration, playing their part so far away from source, which they are part of, that they no longer could sustain themselves. So they got lost in that and became parasitic, vampiric, to feed off of the light of the others, right? Us who have that light within us. So they created a side effect, so to say, of the game, the experiment, whatever you want to call it, of this parasitic, right, situation and the stuckness. We were never supposed to have gotten stuck. We were supposed to explore this, have this experience, right, this experiment. So creation walks through its creation, plays in it, explores it. We know it not only in a concept, right, but experientially walking through it. Yes, to taste it, to touch it, to smell it. So please, beautiful ones, not with all these lessons everyone always talks about. I know it's so ingrained in everyone, but this is number 5, throw away the old beliefs and paradigms. Yes, to the number 7, the truth, the only truth, right? You are a spark of divinity, right? As the ocean has droplets, all of us are oceans, right? Droplets of that ocean of creation, source, whatever name, God, that one is comfortable with, life, creation, So this is the times, these beautiful times. This is a joyous celebration because we are here getting to remember, right? Like a member put back onto the body, so to say, as well as remember. We are here to call back, recall to ourselves, right? That which we are, what we entered into, right? So we untangle from all that stuckness and those energies and the old paradigms and beliefs, yes? So we can go forth, pour the light back in and be that, not even the chakras. I know this is a lot for everybody, but this is like we're being a pillar of light, right? So we go even beyond what those chakras hold and all of that, old paradigms, this pillar of light, as I know you understand so much and others on your beautiful show, the energy of the male and female to be blended within us, yes? So we are that pillar of light, that Christed being, and we go forth standing in that, in the remembrance of it. And it doesn't have to be so difficult, yes? And all these words and concepts that keep people tripping over, right? The concepts, the words, did I say it right? No, beautiful ones, there's an easier way for us to go at it because we have families and elder parents and children and responsibilities to ourselves and others. We don't always have all the time in our busy lives, to focus on all this. So that's why this is beautiful, coming from source, because we don't need all the intermediaries. Bless whoever plays in the intermediaries. But the intermediaries were because we played in forgetfulness. So they were there, right, to play those positions for us while we played in forgetting. But now it's about no more intermediaries. You and source, you and creation connected. You don't need those intermediaries, and this work helps by releasing the old entanglements and energies and beliefs so they can connect directly with source of creation, right? That's which they are. I'm sorry I went on a whole big thing, but sorry.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. It's a beautiful remembrance and it feels so right within us. We feel the truth in that. And so, the hot topic of our community is really bringing in this light no matter what.
Yes.
and releasing all of those lower vibrations and all of the triggers that actually keep us from this light, that pulls us back away from this light. And it's interesting because a big question that comes up is, how do we stay connected? Or what is a protocol that we could do to ensure that we stay connected, even though those around us may still watch the news or feel the collective out there and feel the pain of the collective? What can we do to really anchor and be that pillar of light in the best way possible?
We have actually heard the clarion call to come in. Like some will say, don't look at the collective, right? This is the thing. One must have awareness, be educated. We took part in the greatest part of the story, right, of creation ever told, that we are the ones who wrote it into the book of life by being here, going through these experiences. So why would one want to not be educated of the truth of our history, the truth of what has gone on, that has, the wool has been pulled over their eyes, what lurks under the carpet, so to say? Yes, it is to have this knowing and awareness. We've come in to help the collective. Yes, so there must be awareness and knowing. But the thing is, from that awareness and knowing what has been taking part, what we were part of, yes, then we have that and have, be empowered with it, stand fearlessly, right? Because you're saying, I am here to assist, right, with the disillusion of that, dissolve it and dissolve the illusion of that. Another thing I wanted to say, we are real magic. Think of ourselves, right? All the systems working. If we took our beautiful skin off, oof, what we are underneath, all the systems functioning together, and then this beautiful flesh over it, right? To experience, to feel, to touch, to taste, you know? So this is magic. This is real magic. And we're remembering the magic we are, to use those energies and to create from remembrance, not all of this that was created from forgetting.
Yeah.
So we do not be taken down by that, right? Fear, upset, anger, disappointment, whatever that may be, because then you're only feeding that system more. So it's to have the knowledge and knowing and say, I'm going to stay here. And the whole thing, how do you stay here, is one must begin to be aware of themselves, observe themselves, conscious of themselves. That's what this is awakening of, right? One of my writings said, Audrey, how do they wake up people? In many different ways. Some of them jump out of bed right away and they're ready, right, and alert. Sometimes they're just hit the snooze how many times. Sometimes they're pulling the covers over them and they don't want to come out at all to wake up. And so it is just a process. Everyone going through this, right, awakening this awareness in many different ways. So we assist each other. But it's so important as people receive these works and are helped, but it also goes back to themselves, right? They have to watch how they're acting, reacting, because these are old loops that we were stuck in, ingrained habits, action, reaction, over and over, eon upon eon, that we got stuck in this, right? So we're breaking those old habits, breaking those old loops. So you get the information like this work, it helps you and such, but it also comes to each of us individually to observe ourselves and say, wait, I always talk about it, a dock. We're on the dock, right? So we're standing on the dock is moving. That's the tsunami of energy, right? So we're attempting to stand on this tsunami of energy that's hitting us on the dock, and we're attempting to balance, and we're juggling at the same time. And that juggling is one hand, all the balls for the physical responsibilities we have for ourselves and others, right? The other hand is the spiritual, that we know is what it is, that is the real, yes, of what we are handling, that, yes. So we're busy balancing and juggling. Sometimes we're thrown off that dock into the energies, so to say, the water, the energies. That's the emotions that we feel. We're human, we've come to feel, so it's okay to feel. But the thing is to realize, right, what is happening, observe yourself and think, wait a minute, is this an emotion that's old habits that's going to take me down, right? That I'm feeding and nourishing other forces off of those emotions, right? Being the old battery for other beings and essences. Or what you do is, instead, is you say, okay, I felt it. You get back, I say, to the dock, sit on the edge, take a breath, catch your breath, right? Stand back up, balance and juggle again. Because then you are feeding and nurturing yourself with your energies, right? Rather than, if you stay in the energies, so to say, you were tossed and tangled down the rapids, down a waterfall, down a rapids, a waterfall. That's you tossing and turning in all those old energies. And you're only, you have to realize, feeding those things, so to say, in the energies, right, that you have been fed off of, right, parasitic, all of those things for eons and eons of time. So you say, no, no more, right? So this is the empowerment comes in, right? I am going to nourish myself, right? Feed myself with the light and the energy, not these other beings. I always say to my clients, you starve them, right? Because you have to realize this is not just an emotion, whatever. This is a lot of distraction that was made, right? A lot of illusion, a lot of falsehoods, a lot of wrapped in the story, as you say, the news, right? The story that's playing out upon the stage, right? So we have to even step out of our own self, our flesh, our story, so to say, not in physicality like people can, but say to look at yourself, to have awareness that the story that is playing out, that you are walking in physicality with the situation, the stage that is set. And you know, anyone when there's a stage set, right? If you're standing here, it's a whole different perspective, right? Of the story that is playing out. So one can be empowered. So that is a way, right, to begin to remember that, to relearn, to be re-educated, you know, to go forward with that. So we keep pulling ourselves back to that place of that balance. And as you walk this more and more, it becomes easier and easier, right? Because you're breaking the old loops, the old habits. So please, everyone, do not be hard on yourselves, because this is my work as well as the physical that it touches and, you know, falls out to their physical lives. It reaches at your soul essence. That's why they call me a soul architect, spiritual architect, energy engineer, because what are we? We are truly our essence of soul. And everyone is so busy in the physical sometimes they don't tend to their soul beingness, right? Because they're, where's my love, my home, my house, my pains, my aches, my kids, all the physical. But the flesh can be a distraction, right? We've played in that over and over. This time of the huge turning of the cycle is the opportunity, right, to realize that we are more than just this, right? So tend to where your real treasure is, in your soul, of your essence, of your beingness, right? So you're a multidimensional being. All those energies, think of all the energies and reactions in the physical, right, from a child to an adult, little, and the generational energetics that one carries upon their DNA. Multiply that by your multidimensional aspects experiences, right? So this is huge, what the soul is holding, right? All that energy, all that information fed back to source creation, you know? So that's huge. That's why it is so important when they can get help, such at the level of this, of having an architect come in and help them. Yes, Elohim and embody to help them, weaver of codes of creation to help them. That I do so hope they would take advantage of that, because this is going to determine where they are traveling, yes, through existence, by what energy resonance they have worked on, brought back to themselves. Hold the light within the physical, which we are also doing. That is the heaven on earth, putting the light back in, yes, that we let go to come here and play part in the density. So the physicality has to adjust to that bit by bit, to hold that light back in without being, you know, all blown apart and such. So there's that time to acclimate and adjust. So this is a huge opportunity that they are here in embodiment, taking advantage of this opportunity, if they would so like, this invitation, yes, for them. So it's magic, it's a miracle, it's to be happy, yes, because we're not going to loop in that anymore. We've written it. One other thing I want to say, they had given me a message years back, and it was a beautiful message, and I've shared it on YouTube. It says, those of you, yes, who have been able to awaken, right, to remember self, to realization of the real of the self, right, and part of the selfhood, all of you go down in the book of life as the shiny, triumphant, golden ones, because even in the midst of all that has gone on, right, even despite all of that, yes, that has gone on, eons and eons of time, parasite, vampire, eating off of our energy batteries and such, yes, even despite all that, we have been able to, as the shiny, triumphant, golden ones, remember that we are love, yes, and we not only hold it in concept, because many people, they throw around words, love, unity, oneness, spirituality, but those are words, concepts only. That does not get one there. One must be it in their beingness of the walk that they are walking of the talk that they are saying in the beingness. Yes, that is the thing. So us being that go down in the book of life as the shiny, triumphant, golden ones, you know? And so that is so beautiful. So like we close that on all of this experiment, you know, and we go forth, and we as creator beings in remembrance, right? We created all this in forgetting. We create from remembrance this beautiful new day. Yes, a new creation, so that there is not the discord within the symphony of creation. Yes, but we play beautifully, right? This beautiful new song of creation in remembrance of ourselves, that we stand back in as we take our power back as sovereign, divine beings, you know? So it doesn't have to be so difficult, because sometimes if all these things are presented in such a difficult way, people start tripping over it all, you know, tripping over concept, tripping over words, getting tangled in that. And it doesn't, you don't have to, you know, this is yours. Be comfortable in it. You're getting comfortable in your beingness again as you remember it, you know? So I'm here to tell everyone there's a simpler way.
Thank you for the simple way. And it's beautiful that we are here to birth new earth within us. It's this light that we bring back, that we remember, that we create from, that really anchors in new earth. And so time to just get it on and create with these new energies. And that's what you do. You assist people by attuning them to these frequencies, facilitating an experience for them to really accelerate on their path and to move through this with ease and grace. And I just want to say that I love that you didn't experience Kundalini rising or a lightning bolt or lightning strike or a dark night of the soul, right? You opened up to it. You
Because
were
the heart,
heart-centered. Your
yes,
heart was wide open. And
yes,
that is a key, as
yes,
long as we stay open to it. And that's beautiful. So for all of us who are out there and really ready to step into our power and bring back this beautiful light that we are, there's no need to hit the snooze button anymore, right?
exactly, beautiful, right? Jump out of bed in excitement, you know? Yes, come on, bring it on, because eons and eons, you know,
Yes.
so long. There is no time, but say turning of the cycles, you know, the spinning of creation over and over, the same minds wiped, so to say. Yeah, the lies have said lessons that must be learned. These are not lessons, beautiful ones. You are creator beings. You are God, source, creation, life, whatever name you want to name it, in embodiment. Yes, to go play through your creations and source, to know itself through all of us as aspects of it. So that is joyous and beautiful. Yes, to we forgot so much and those things that held us. Yes, so these are the times to take back our power, our divinity, our birthright. It is ours. What's the holdup, right? It's yours. Here, take it back. You know, I can assist you to take back what is rightfully yours, and it's not so difficult to get that. And I know people love to travel the world, but you must understand that is also a bit of the old beliefs, paradigms, and such. What about everyone who can't make it there? Would they be out of not being able to journey there? No, this is your connection with source. This is not, oh, my higher self tell me. No, this is you and your higher self merging. My work gets all this stuff out of the way to help you walk, and you and that higher self join together. Yes, that which you are, to remember that. And yeah, and I didn't even meditate, Lauren. Nothing. I just lived of my heart, being kind, compassionate, patient, loving with people, you know, because as Elohim and embody, right? As a spark of divinity, being it in my beingness, right? So getting everyone back to that which they are, to remember it and be it. And if they fall off the horse, so to say, or fall off the dock, just get back on and say, this is what I want to be part of. This, you know, and take part in the things that could help them to quicken it for them, right? To speed it up for them with this great time of the purging, right? Because the soul has many experiences energetically, and the DNA, which holds all that information of what we explored and experienced before, right? So that has to be, you know, purged out of their system in the DNA and such. So even more and more and more light can come in. I know a lot of people love to talk about 5D, and that's beautiful, but I want to say to them, why do you limit yourself to only 5D when you're a creator beingness? You are God in physicality, remembering that which you are. It is all open to you if you would be in vibration and of heart So that, look what you could partake of. Why do you want to play with only a little crayon box when you have all the colors and the paints? Yes, and the huge crayon box that one could partake of. My beings of light, when they come in, they always tell the people. Actually, I'm going to let them come in a minute, Lauren. Beautiful one, Lauren. We are so happy to be with you, dearest one. We thank you, beautiful Lauren, for all the work that you do, dearest one. Such a beautiful heart that you have, dear one. So beautiful. And we thank you for this opportunity to be here through our channel to speak with you, yes, and all of your listeners. Channel wishes us to say to you what we say to many, yes, because it is such a beautiful thing to realize, and the realization of the real. We say to them, yes, for them to realize that they are the master and the masterpiece, you see, one and the same. So we say to them, take the paintbrushes, so to say, yes? Does a master stand with their easel and their paints and their paintbrushes and wait for one to come by to say to him or her, yes, where they should put their colors and their paintbrushes, light or dark? No, a great master. That is the beauty of it, beautiful ones. That you are masters, you see, and you can dream a dream, so to say, yes, and birth it forth. And while you are birthing forth your creation, if you think of the example of a painting, so to say, you can put it light, you can put it dark, yes, you work with it in the process of the creation that you are making, whatever it may be. Yes, we say those that work in clay, yes, or music, or painting, or whatever it may be, or weaving, yes, but in this, it is your lives, your energy, your experiences, your expression, yes? So whatever you may first think you are going to birth forth or create as beautiful creators and masters, you can change that while it is in the process of being birthed. So what comes forth may be totally different from what one may originally, yes, envision it to be. And that is the beauty, yes, of this gift of creation that all of you have been given. Yes, so it's time to remember that that is yours. Blow away the false magic, blow away the smoke and crack the mirrors of the false magic and the illusion to the real magic that you are. All of you, beautiful ones. So remember that, dear ones. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful Lauren, we say to you, we shall return to your channel, but we shall come back later again. Beautiful one, we thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Lauren, now it's Audrey, so.
Well, the energy shift is completely vibrant when the Council of Light comes in.
Yes, the
And
beings
I
of
find that amazing. And there are some questions for the council that are coming in over our chat line at acoustichealth.com. And we'll get to those in a moment. I would like you to share. This helps for all of those who are tuning into frequencies of light language, maybe not knowing what it is, or tuning into the greater call, the greater energy of who they are. And I think it would be helpful if you were to share how you recognized something was going on with you, that there were beings, light beings that wanted to speak through you. What was that like for you to fully surrender? You said you were in your heart. That's a big key. We are not in our mind here.
Yes. So
Right?
no surrendering. Surrendering was not necessary. We're going to talk about surrender later on, that word.
Because we hear that
And
word a
that's
lot.
surrender and judgment. Two words, because remember I said we have to get out of words and what they have done to words to capture people, you see, to step empowerment. So there was no surrender here. It was just that
An
flow
allowance.
back through because it was time for that to happen. Because besides working with people, I speak light language and Akash language, but it is not the same, so to say, as all the beautiful people who are bringing it through. That's wonderful. But this was at the level, right, of Elohim, weaver of codes of creation, from first wave of creation, been around for a very long time, let's say, with source before all these other, let's say, games and stages were set, right? The beingness and architect to come in and help. So I had to put codes. It was time, right? We were saying 2012 and such, before 2012 and such, to put codes into the field of creation, which I still do. Some people present themselves as gatekeepers and such, but this is, if you want to say gatekeeper, a weaver of codes for existence itself, wherever it is needed. Yes, what dimension, what worlds, whatever it may be. So sometimes now I will even put codes that are for some other worlds out into the galactics. Yes, those civilizations, those beingness, consciousness waiting to receive the codes. So as that beingness and time to set and weave those energies, place them into, stir the pot, so to say, of the field of creation, Gaia, humanity, because this story that is happening here, beautiful ones, it is not only for our evolution. That's what this is part of, our evolution. This is also happening, rippling out to all of existence, because this story that was played out, yes, with those lower expressions, they have been there playing out upon the stage of creation for many, many eons. And then it rippled down here to us. But this has been going on in the stage of creation for eons of time, with other civilizations and such, other beings being in forgetfulness and what had befallen other civilizations, yes, as that story of the two, those that remember themselves, those that are in a forgetting, whether you say service to self, service to others, yes. So this has been playing on for eons throughout existence, as I was saying, ripple down here. So I also do work behind the scenes to put codes in and move those things and deliver them out to existence. So for me, it was, let's say, turning that back on when I am, other than a mom and a wife and Audrey and physicality, because it was time, what I've come into physicality, to walk with everyone as an Elohim and embodied and such, to do that work behind the scenes. And that's why it was pretty much, you can't ignore when you're going like this and you're being spinned around like a ballerina, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm motion sick, what are you doing? You know, and then the writing to explain it. And the writing came through. I was minding my business again, Lauren. I was just on the phone with a paper and pen, waiting for a secretary to give me some information on my husband that I needed. And they started writing. And I'm like, I know what automatic writing is, but I've never sat down to, I want to do this. You know, it just was flowing through and said, you're an ancient one. You are from time before time. You're a weaver of codes of creation. You're a diviner and all these other things. You are Lemuria. You love Lemuria. You're a Lemurian high priestess, you know, and all these other things, aspect of Isis, an embodiment, a female Christed one with the womb of creation to bring forth these works. So it was nothing that I could ignore because it was beginning to come through. And then, like I said, levitated, and you can't ignore levitation, you know, and then the light language coming through. And then later on, doing a work with those in the highest of realms, being one an embodiment here upon Gaia to do the work, a match with the DNA and my energetics. So to bring birth forth, the work with the numbers, you know, because again, symbols have been contaminated, language has been contaminated. So that is why they come through in number language, because numbers hold the pocket of energy in a way that cannot be contaminated as symbols. Think of the beautiful swastika, what they did to it, right? And what language has been. So each of those things, when it was time to bring it through, came through. So we delivered to the people around the world these works. All they can say afterward, Lauren, is wow. Because see, I had seen you talking on a show recently and you were like, I can't even speak. And I'm like, see, that's exactly it. When you're in this very, very high energy of you know, the highest energies, when you're immersed in this, it's like you can't even find words. Why? Because words, yes, are contaminated, limitations. So the beings of light also say, yes, yes, yes. We say to our channel, we say to her, yes, take them to the place beyond any words, because once they are there, yes, words can do that place. No justice, beautiful ones. Yes, that place of your remembrance of yourself is that which you are. Yes, a beautiful creator being, a spark of divinity, magic. Yes, brought forth to play, to experience, to express. Yes, through life, to know life, beautiful ones. Yes, yes, yes. We return to your channel. Yes. One of the things I want me to say to you, I actually named them beings of light because they have no name. They are part of remembrance, that they are part of source. So their name is their energy signature stamp. You know, like when you walk in a room, you can feel someone and such. So they don't have a name that is any language. Their energy stamp, like when people all around the world, when they're in session and they come through, they can feel them, right? As a change in their environment. That is their beingness expressed, their name, so to say, you know. So they are, I gave them the name beings of light. So we have a reference point when we speak about them. So the council is separate. Yes. The beings of light are, they're from source, part of source, and they remember that they are that. So they come in to help people to remember that and to assist them and wrap so much love and high energy around them. They don't do the works that I bring through. They are there and they love to speak, as they say, in communication. Yes, 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 beautiful one. We love communication. Yes. So you say to us, you have some communication with us. Yes. So that'll be beautiful. We're here. Yes, yes. Okay, Lauren, they're excited to wait for any part. They'll jump in and speak with everyone as well.
Good. And so thank you for that. We are going to experience a session with you, a light language transmission. And I want to make it clear that this light is of the highest frequency. This light is not harmful in any way. This light knows exactly where to go and when and how it needs to come. And that which we don't need will not affect us, right?
Exactly, beautiful ones. Exactly, exactly. And this is a great gift. Yes. Thank you, Lauren, for allowing me to offer it to everyone and bring it to them. Because again, to show you that this can be simple. And what more simple way? I mean, you don't have to read a book, you don't have to study, you don't have to do all this stuff. You just show up, you relax, you sit there and relax, and you allow this to move through you, right? Hands full, mounds and mounds and mounds of energy to be released. Of course, we cannot do everything in this one moment of the eternal now, because you would be overloaded and overwhelmed, right? So that is why we're going to bring through some so they can feel it a bit and begin the process. And hopefully they will take part of the beautiful opportunity with the package to make it more personal for them, right? The hands, the energies right in their personal field and energetic, their unconscious, their subconscious, generational issues, multidimensional aspects of self. It is huge, the work. So we're going to dip them in it a bit, yes, and then they hopefully will go forward with that as well. So are you ready, beautiful Lauren?
Yes, I think we are all ready.
I want
And we
to
just allow.
allow, exactly. I wanted to say one other thing. They're going to hear sounds. High pitched would be the fairy realms coming in to touch that inner child, right, of this you, as well as the other aspects of you. The deep sounds are the Native Americans or the ancient ones coming to release generational lineages, again, not only from this you, but other yous, right? So all of this work is on the DNA, and they also assist when they come and receive these works, their generational lineages, right? Because it's shooting through the DNA. So you help them as well. What a beautiful thing. The galactics will come through because you're multidimensional beings. I love your baby there. So beautiful.
Yes.
This is also for
He
your
loves
beautiful,
the
beloved
energy.
pets. Exactly. I work on people and their pets come, their other beautiful family members come because they want in on it. They're like, we don't know what you're doing, mommy and daddy, but we definitely want in on that. So if anyone has pets, let them come. It's for them as well. In a session, they could be involved as well. And let's see, Kali may come, but Kali is so we destroy the old. We want to persevere over that which has held us down, to break that away. Yes. So she may come. Let's see, Shakti energies may come, So we'll see what comes through. Everyone, you just relax and allow, because this is your beingness. Yes, this is your divinity, that which you are, to help you remember that and recall that. Step back into that. Yes, your sovereignty, your direct connection with the divine source that you emanate from, without any intermediaries in the way, because we no longer need that anymore, as we help you to stand in your mastery again. Yes. So here we go, beautiful one. Unemonotone senone benutone vane senone benusontane venupontane venusonane no sei no sei no sei. Evoix, mon cher, evoix from the throat, evoix, 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 shem, 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 evoix, evoix, mon cher, evoix, evoix, shem, 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 evoix, mon cher, apa ut atiene, ite, ut, et. Evoix, shem, 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 evoix, cherise, evoix, 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 to the heart, beautiful ones. Evoix, vare, Vare, mon cher, vare, vare, shiktka, shiktka. Evwa, Shem, Shem, Hashem. Evwa, vare, vare, the back of the heart. Evwa, 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 Shem, 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 vare, ivare, sheries. Unevono sone, vanonei, vanonei, vanusenose. Unemona si, venesone se, venesona si, ase, Evoa, Shem, 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 Shedis, Uya, Ia, the galactic, galactic, multidimensional use, Kash, Isk, Ishk, Apt, Ishk, Ishk, Apt, Ishk, Ubik, Ekaki, Umekaki, Umaki, Ia, Emekash, Isk, Apt, Ishk, Ishk, Apt, Ishk, Ekaki, Shedis. Il se voit mon cher, il se voit, chéris. The fairies want to come in, right, to make that a little bit more gentle for you guys. Around the heart. Baruturtiam. Ta I ia ash eshk apik eshk eki. Ewa mo shares. Ewa ia harahuna mahana. Hun mahan hine mahana. Hun mahana. Evare shem. It's the ancient ones now coming around the belly button, Native Americans. Do that some little bit of generational releasing. Here we go. Around the belly button, the coccyx bone. Shohumti I ahumtia, bahuni ihide huna, bahonyane, bartum, vatum, shohumtia, humtia shaotia, bartum yane hina, I bartum shayom, bahontia, shum. Isasi, fairies make that lighter. Sharis, Sharis, I'll say, Sharis, sha. Il se va mon cher. Et ça c'est partum, et partum. Anupono sone venone, unemone sene venone, venusena se. Et ça va mon cher. Et ça c'est. A little bit of Akash language. Eminakasha. Rewrite that Akash, guys. Eminakash, Hunihimakash, Hanehenimakash, Hunikasha, Ekasha, Unehinekasha, Evaratur Tereminakasha, Esasimekash, Iskum Ekaki, Esimoshans, Esasish, Ivartum, Esasisharia. I'm going to pause a moment. We can speak, and then we're going to do a little bit of the numbers, and then I'll seal them up after the numbers, right? So that just gives them a little bit of time to take a breath. How you doing, Lauren?
I love it. Thank you. It is so thrilling to see you. We've always done this show with you on audio, so
Yes.
to see you, that adds a whole different dimension as well. And I'm just still in that. And I'm at a loss for words. I love it though. I feel good. I feel strong. And I hope our community is feeling this too. How can we work with our intentions with this light language so that we can empower those intentions to release any blocks with
Exactly.
this light
And
language?
this is the thing that I like to tell people, right? People are, again, a word, intentions, right? That's the beauty about my work. You don't have to really have an intention when you come here, because you must realize, right, this is working at your soul essence of your true beingness. Yes. So in physicality, we may think, oh, my intentions, right, for the physical, my needs, my desires, my this, my that, and also in the spiritual, that you want to let go of things. But again, remember, we are multidimensional beings. We have so many aspects. There's no way from us standing here in this limitation that we're in that we would know what to ask of an intention for another one of our beingnesses, or generational, or in the unconscious, subconscious, or a childhood issue from this self that may be buried, or from another aspect of self. So this is why, you see, if you set an intention, you are going to be lacking all the rest of that to be covered, that you wouldn't know to even ask about, right? So that is why my work covers what you would not even know consciously to focus on, think of, so we don't leave any of that else out, right? So we leave it as open to know, to tend to all those things, yes, that need to be tended to for the benefit, yes, of that being that it is there receiving the work. So it goes even beyond, right? So of course your intentions, bring your intentions, but we're just trying to say to you that you're not gonna, that's all going to be covered as well, that there's no way that you would even know to ask for or set an intention for it. And that's why we come and we're present. That's why we didn't have to do anything special. We are showing up, right, to cover all that. It's already known. It already is. That is why I'm here to assist. That is why the connection, right, to that mastery of which everyone is, to remember that. What a beautiful thing. So they can go forth as they journey through creation. This is not just about, where am I going to live? Give me my job, my children, my pains, my aches, whatever. Yes, those are important, and I understand they are, because we're in physicality. But we have to help them to be re-educated and step out of that, which can be another distraction, to loop them to understand this is important of where are they traveling, where are they going to find themselves as they continue their other beautiful creations from a different place, a different stage to be set, of a higher vibration that they need to be in resonance with, so they will no longer loop in this. Yes, I heard someone was saying with you about, if you don't get it now, you will have hundreds of other lives. The thing is this, no, beautiful ones. You understand? I am sorry. No, a creator being here, Elohim and embodied such, I'm saying to no, because this is a time, another writing of the great divide. And in the time of the great divide, it is time for you to make a decision. Yes, your decision is, where do you stand vibrationally? The things that do not evolve and dissipate, yes, into the all that is to be healed, or those things that go on forward for the evolution, yes, of creation itself. Creation is powerful, that we are part of. There's chaos in creation and such power. So we are it, as the transmuters that come in, balancing that male and female energy, being that pillar of light, right? The Christed being is representational of, yes? So we bring to the chaos of creation that balance, yes? That beautiful to create. So what was unseen can be seen. What was unknown can be known, right? Spreading light into the darkness. So if one was going to loop in this and have the opportunity to do it hundreds of times more, then it's only going to perpetuate the same. We did not come in to perpetuate the same. We've come in to close the book on the old that we have very beautifully written in over and over and over again, not need to, that has created a stagnation within creation. Stagnation is a contradiction to life. Life is about motion and movement, right? So that is what we're doing. We come in to create vibration, right? Energy, that motion and movement. So we get out of that stagnation. And you're not going to have many opportunities to do it over and over again, because that is continuing the stagnation and the game. Because there are games in the echelons. Yes, that everyone wants to talk about the echelons and all the different layers. But you know what? Then you can also play on those stages. I'm not here to assist you to play on those stages. I'm here to cut the puppet strings from all those stages of playing upon in the old, so you understand no puppet strings. You are creation, you and it together, a relationship, yes? So you don't have to be stuck in echelons of more games and playings and agendas of others, but you are assisted by an architect to be an architect of your own design of what you would like to take part of in creation, you know?
Yes, beautiful. Thank you. And it's again, I just want to say getting out of the head and staying in the heart. And that last question of mine was certainly heady. So I get that. All right. So thank you for helping unravel me as well there.
Oh, you're so beautiful. I don't know when would be a good time to do this, but very quickly, you know, to talk about words. Remember, I'm not really about words. I'm beyond words, because that is really where you're going to get at the core of you, right? Energetically, beyond words, also the number language and such. I want to know, when did judgment become such a dirty word, right? Because here's what judgment means: the ability to make, which people have forgotten it means this, you know, because it's just been so wrapped up in the belief system, made such a dirty word. But judgment, the ability to make considered decisions or come to sensible conclusions, discernment, shrewdness, astuteness, common sense, perception, wisdom, understanding, intelligence, awareness, sharpness, powers of reasoning, logic. You see, judgment, an opinion or decision that is based on careful thought. You see, the act or possession of forming an opinion, making a decision after careful thought. Yes, the ability to make good decisions about what should be done. The ability to form valuable opinions and make good decisions after careful thought. Trust your own judgment and don't be guided by what anyone else says. There you go, going to the heart, right? Let's see, make a sensible opinion that you have after considering all the facts in a situation about something. Sound judgment, better judgment, you see? So as an architect, yes, as any architect would do, or an engineer, one assesses the situation. One makes a judgment call about the situation. So they would know what motion and movement is needed, necessary, yes, to create the new, as an architect and engineer will do. We are judging our own situations to say, making a judgment call in everything that I've just read to all of you about that, good decision making and such, to say, I don't want to be a part of this anymore, and the looping and all that had gone on, yes, because I'm being educated. I'm being made aware that this world that was created is all on a falsehood of a history and such, to keep everyone in the loop or dumbed down and such, yes, or as batteries. So we don't want to do that anymore. So we are aware, we witness what is happening, we make an observation call, an assessment of the situation, judgment call. So we then know, as we were discussing, how we stay on that dock, be aware of ourselves, observe ourselves, have the works that are out there to help us so we can go forward. The other word is surrender, is another word that is a little bit here with what happened with this word surrender. Surrender. Cease resistance to an enemy or opponent and submit to their authority. Give in, give oneself up, yield, concede, submit, climb down, give way, defer back down, cave in, relent, succumb, quit, crumble, laying down, yield, give up, quitting, abandon, give up, completing, or agree to forego, to give oneself up into the power of another, especially as a prisoner, to stop fighting and admit defeat, give control over to someone who has defeated you. If you surrender, you stop fighting or resisting someone, agree that you have been beaten, to give oneself over to something such as an influence, to yield something to the possession or power of another, deliver up possession or on demand or under duress, surrender. To someone, to agree that you have been beaten, give up claim to give oneself up to another of control as a prisoner, to give in, surrendering. To relinquish the control or possession of another under duress or demand, to give up hope, to give oneself up to another power or control. So what I want to say to everyone is no surrender, empowerment, standing empowered. All this talk about ego, ego, ego. Here's another word, okay? Another word to loop people in ego, ego, ego. This is about, look, we're deciding we're not playing in the old anymore, the old stories that were said and taught over and over again, right? So in that decision, we help ourselves and others to go to the heart, be the higher vibrations, which is of higher consciousness, express compassion, love, empathy, kindness, not beautiful words thrown around as in concepts, but in actuality of our beingness. Yes. So we surrender nothing to anyone because there's not a need to, because we're standing in our power, taking back what is ours, our divine birthright, and being that empowered, sovereign, divine being. You see, so just a different look on those words, which trap up people a lot or keep them twisting in things. And again, this does not have to be complicated, beautiful ones, because then you're going to loop in the complication of, I'm going to tell you another thing, another writing. They said in one of my writings, what did they do? They had religion. What did they do with religion? Fear, big business, manipulation, distraction. Oh, they got too smart for religion. So what did they do? They made spirituality. What did they do with spirituality? Fear, big business, manipulation, distraction. Not what either of those were supposed to be for. Yes. So that is why let's put the old away. It was useful at the time. It built a great foundation, but no one who builds anything just spins in the foundation, right? You go forth and create, in this new education, this new expansion of your consciousness and understanding and awareness of how the words have been twisted to keep many held, even in this new way of understanding. Many people come to me because I'm healer to the healers as well, that there are people out there who are making them sick, that they think they're going to good people because there is something of a predator, a plague, what is going on, right? So it's very important for everyone to work with people who really empower them. So they receive the works and they can go forth, right? And fly and work on their own. This is the wellspring that comes through me, the wellspring of divinity. People come and drink. Why? So you're fortified, strengthened, nourished. So you can go upon your own path, If you need another drink, then you come, right? To help you, as anyone who may be in a desert, right? You see a beautiful Havana, you stop, a place where you can rest and drink and feed and nourish ourselves. That's what these times are about. We have been starved, the soul starved. We have been, our life force and light sucked out of us over and over again, right? So this is about us nourishing ourselves, right? Feeding ourselves with that connection that we are, pouring that light, that life sustenance, right? That nourishment to feed us and nourish and fortify us as we go upon our journeys and close the book on the old,
Yes, thank you for clarifying that on those words. It really is important to really stay open, and it's interesting because when we talk about judgment and the words that you read there, it really does mean discernment. So there's other words that we can use, but judgment, like self-judgment or judgment of others, I have actually witnessed in my life how that does limit. It does limit us from experiences because, so let's say instead of judgment, right? Because what really is that when there you just expressed that it's higher wisdom or choices. It's judgment. We're judging people because of belief systems or a perception that we have within us. So it really is getting out or changing our perception, right?
And that is why my work says number 5 is representational of get rid of, we're sorry, right? But if we want to create the new, like etch a sketch, right? There has to be nothing on there. Have you heard a lot of people when they were talking about a while ago saying, oh my God, there's like nothing, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. And I said, well, yes, because you're used to the loop of what you're going to find there the same. This is actually new slate to create on that slate, So yes, the old beliefs and paradigms, they were only instilled in us to keep us trapped, to dumb us down, to loop over the same. When someone judges another and gets an anger or upset, what are they doing? They have to catch themselves. They have to start thinking that emotion, that energy is feeding those other forces that have the tendrils in them, eons and eons of time of spiraling, right? No real time, but spirals, holding them, that part of this matrix, part of this that went on. So they have to catch, that's what I'm saying, awareness, catch themselves. Wait, I'm looping in the old beliefs, the old understanding, the old paradigms, right? No more of that and begin to move the perspective, right? Because you just move a little bit, the perspective is totally different, right? And so there has helped more and more and more changing that perspective out of those old beliefs, and judging the self. No one has to judge themselves because, oh my goodness, they are such beautiful beings. Look what they took part of, Loren. Right? So lovingly, when creator creation and ourselves, we're sitting there, we're all that is, we know all that is. Let's go play in this, Yes, what would this be? So, so lovingly put up their hand to say, okay, as a portion of creation, we shall go down, right? Illusionary separation from sorts, but their perception of that as they went in the lower vibrations, their light, right? Lessening and lessening to be in this density and all that went on. So, look what they did. Oh my God, that is why it's important that they know the true history of what went on. So they know they are, if by them not knowing, you're keeping them away from, they wrote in the book of the life, right? This big part that they played, right? To be gentle with themselves, care and nurture for themselves because they played those parts. There was a promise that this would not go on, yes, forever and be lost in, so to say. That's why we say, like biblically and such, what was lost shall be found. Yes, found unto its own self. Yes, the portions of creation that went to sleep to wake up and remember, right? You were never gone. The illusion, the separation, the lower vibration, but now you are back home to remember what you are, that energy. That is home. People think, where am I going? Where am I going? As they say, it's all here within you, right? You're a creator being. What stage are you going to set and create now to play out upon, and not the old? We don't want to do that anymore because then they're going to be perpetuating. So be gentle with yourselves because look out there. Look what you took part in. Look what you were able to raise up from, even though that wanted to keep you down and eat you. Oh my God, that there's such a thing as soul shards, that a soul can be scattered. That's like, oh my goodness, right? When we began this, we would never think there is such a thing as that, right? To be had in creation. But us walking through it, we know, right, that there is such a thing that can occur when one does not hold, so to say, right, that wheel of the ship, right? This is our vessel. Our consciousness is just in a vessel, yes, that we're using. So we have to put our hands on that wheel, so to say, right? Keep it with the light, keep it with the balance, not to go down in the rocks, yes, or to the darkness, right? To be pulled underneath in what is part of forgettingness. And we also help them, those who have played those parts in forgetting, that have gotten so lost, as we be the light that we are, so we can assist this, not just humanity and Gaia, but creation itself. And that is so beautiful, and that's the magic, to get back to that real magic.
Yes, getting back to the real magic and being that creator being. Okay, so I think the next session with the numbers,
Yes.
the numerical sacred codes, and some questions coming in, and we get this a lot. When we create in these energies, in this newness, on this new Etch-a-Sketch pad, we still need a flow of revenue or a
Yes.
flow of income, or you could call it an energy exchange, a currency exchange. And so people really would like some extra oomph, some extra boost in that area. And maybe that just comes by enhancing joy, because we know when we're in that joyful place, we are provided for. So could you work on that a little bit as well? Or maybe
Yes.
speak to um, the energetics that we hold with money. Maybe we don't even use that word money. Maybe we use the word currency.
Exactly. We have to change our perspective on that, because that's an energy too, the perspective on that, and not be so tight and held down on it, right? So exactly what you're saying, joy allows flow, right? So not be, money, money, bills, bills. People say sometimes, when you're paying a bill, you say, thank you. I am so grateful, right? That I have this bill that I'm paying and I'm taking care of it.
I
So
pay all my bills on time,
yes,
even
so
though you
there's that
may not,
beautiful
right?
exchange of the energy, right? Because you keep it flowing. You don't want to lock it up, right? So you bless them with that, they bless that with you, so you keep it flowing. Sometimes people, they don't want to take jobs or opportunities that arrive for them because they think that's not what I want to do. And I say to them, rather be grateful what comes along that will help you to have a monetary, yes,
Yeah.
and then that might be the stepping stone for them to get to the next thing that is going to bring them the larger amount of monetary that they wanted. Rather, they sit here, no, that's not going to give me as much as I wanted. Begin the flow of it and the money, and in gratitude, rather than say, oh, that's not enough, or I don't want to do that. Try it. You don't know who's going to be there. You don't know what's happening, but you're beginning that flow to begin, at least again, right? To get out of that stuckness. And then you don't know what's going to open up for you, that you may have that position with the amount that you wanted by not locking it all down, right? So again, changing perspective. about it all, and it'll be beautiful when we get to that point of all the things that we have already, that this system has kept from us. We have all the abundance, monetary, health wise, education. They talk about, oh, the stars. Hey, we're already in all the stars traveling. You know what I mean? They have just made such a big cavern between what they let the masses know, what is a reality that they created for them falsely, and the reality that really is, right? That we have all these wealth, money, health, all this technology, all of these things. Oh, people want to become AI. That's a whole nother story. We don't really need AI when we are that which we are, without all these things that has kept us down, right? From our gifts and abilities. AI is creation losing something in itself because it cannot birth a child. It cannot feel the sun or the wind or the feet in the water. You know what I mean? So this was, I also am like a time traveler, so to say, because there is no time. There's a spiral in existence. So it's as we have come back from that future that had played out, which did not have beautiful endings, right? With all of this that played out. So it is creation coming back to that point's past, so to say, our present now. That's why the power of creating the eternal now moment, because we couldn't go forward from there in the spiral. It's a spiral, not a line, right? A spiral. So we had to come back to this point, that would be that point's past, to create the new from here, which is new potential. So the future that was is the past now. And we from here as creative beings, remembering, affecting creation, may new potentials to go down. Right? So that's why all this getting in resonance with what exists, what's there. So you could take part in that and align with that. And part of that will be the glorious day when all that is ours is no longer held up by the system that has those ones who are manipulating them and puppets and all that this has gone on. So until we get there, so this way to approach it, to be grateful and keep it flowing, not that locked up, of this abundance. And abundance for us, see, when we say abundance. Abundance, I understand you're talking about monetary, but abundance, meaning in all ways and all things, right, is of course the importance. So when we're going to do abundance now, yes, I understand we're talking about money, but we're talking about even the deeper abundances, right? As our soul treasure of our essence is what we travel, right? So in many ways for abundance for us, us and the other aspects as well, right? So they all bleed into each other, right? And we have this, So I'm going to speak some numbers, but I want to explain a little bit to them. When a client comes and receives numbers, this is not 4, 6, or 12 numbers. These are 100 long lists of numbers, right? That they will write across the page because it's working with their neural networking, right? To make new neural networks. So it assists with that. It assists with Akash, your field, right? Your DNA. It's multi-layered because it's the language of creation. So that's why they have to write the numbers. When they are writing them, I will go much more slowly than they're going to hear now. So I don't want them to get startled, because sometimes people think, how the heck does she think I'm going to be able to write that at that speed? So no, they're two different speeds. What I'm going to do now is the quick way. That is how I do it in a session. But first in the session, they would write the numbers. Right now, they can't replay it and think, oh, I'm going to write numbers. It doesn't work like that. No, this is the portion where I'm going to run the numbers very quickly, right? So after a client would write the numbers and they have their own list, then the beauty of it is, besides the work that we have done in the moments, right, with those numbers, they also are going to have this as a tool, a new tool for them, so that they can read the numbers over and they could think on, what do they want to create, right? What positive thing, what do they need? Or if something negative is happening, to dispel that, to disperse that, right? Help that to disintegrate, no more of that. Or maybe they don't even have anything particular they need to think of, and that's fine, because they're just going to throw out those energy packets and pockets to support them, because we never know what's happening, what come up may, right? Moment to moment in this life. So that would be a support for them. And so they have these numbers when they have the session, because then it's personalized to them. The series, I've had people around the world, like an empath. She couldn't go out in Japan. So many people. She received the numbers. She brought them with her, right? And she felt like, oh my goodness, Audrey, I feel like I have a protective bubble around me, so I don't have to feel that attack from everything as an empath. Other people won a court case with the numbers, who found a new job, who had more confidence, who did a healing. These numbers are across the span, yes, what someone would need them for personally in their lives, so that's their codes. And each 1,000 layer is, let's say, like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, as they go up higher and higher, 15,000, 20,000, that's representational of an energy frequency bandwidth. So of course, when one first begins, it'll be at a certain level. Yes. And when they acclimate and adjust and they feel ready, if they would so like, they can come and then even move up higher on that and have a wider expanse of codes and frequencies and numbers brought to them that they would have as a tool. It wouldn't make the other numbers obsolete. No, it just is, you set them aside for a while and then you work on the new numbers, you know? So right now I'm going to do it. I begin with a countdown that opens the field. I'll say the numbers very quickly, mixed with light language or Akash language, whatever comes in. And then I will seal it up at the end, because remember we did the work before. So I said to you, after I do the numbers, I'll seal everyone up. And that's what we will do at the end of it. And what happens is it comes through the number 108, because 8 and 1 is 9, which is representation of completion. So they give you 108 9 times for 9 nines of completion to close up what we have opened in the countdown. So you ready? Okay, here we go. You guys just have to relax. If you feel like you need a breath, if it's a lot of energy for you, of course you guys can do that. So here we go, beautiful ones. Here we go. 876 876 54321 876 54321. Remember the language of creation. 876 54321 8718 8718 8718 8718 108 108 108 308 308 308 36 56 408 408 456 456 508 508 556 556 608 608 656 656 708 708 708 708 708 756 756 808 808 856 908 908 921 921 921 956 956 1108 1108 1108 1008 1000 1056 1056 1208 1208 1208 1256 1256 5718 5718 108 108 108 Akash and Akaki Akash. Language of the Akash, going in that Akash. Kash uk up ish ikaki unamakia ia ia ash esh esh up esh ikaki esa ba un a I at et ut et up esh up esh ikaki esa si shari bartum 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 he hum kant ek iki hum he hum ana han mihini ana mahana savoir et savoir mon chers et savoir pour tout terrarium it atium cecit atie esa si chares esa sa mon chers esa si chares esa 108 108 108 108 108 it's at epikish ekakium ye shari ye rature esa mon chan esa si una monosani vanonea una monosani vanonea una menosi venesona si I say, emesa mocharis. Es así. Le ton long et son, es así. Remember in your Lemurian times right now, Lauren?
Just feeling into that. That is a beautiful expression of higher frequencies, and it will be received differently by everyone. And we have some comments coming in from our YouTube channel. Divine Light and Love Oracle says, whoa, feeling tingly all over. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Thank you so much for this energy. We are just going to bathe in it and pay attention to belief systems that just drop away, melt away, that hinder us and keep us in that old loop over here that no longer is necessary.
Anything that bubbles up, Loren, for them, think of it like a dam. We put cracks in the dam. You let it flow away, right? Don't be caught in the emotion. What is this? What is this? No, you just say, oh, that's what's bubbling up to leave. So you say, thank you. Bye bye. Don't pull back the story. What's this? The emotion. What's this? So you're pulling it back to you. No, you want to say thank you. Bye bye. Right. And one, be gentle with themselves. You let it flow away.
Yes, it's just interesting, the clearing that goes on, the layers upon layers upon layers. And, our relationships show us these triggers so beautifully, don't they? And I was joking with my husband recently, and a trigger came up, and I just said, whoa, okay, bear with me, but thanks for helping me clear that. And that's what we have to do. We just have to be light-hearted at this. And another good one for these triggers while we're sharing on this is that there's a trigger game. If someone ever triggers us, we know that someone could have the potential to trigger us. So we play the trigger game and we decide, you know what, I'm going to play this game without having to tell that other person, just to say, I know this person triggers me. So I'm going to see what I can do to win this game and allow that energy to move through me and transform me. What are your thoughts on that?
Exactly. And that is you standing as your empowered being on the dock, right? Because that trigger, or you standing on the dock, those beings that want to feed off the energy that the trigger will ignite, that they eat and maintains them like a battery, right? All that drama, all those low energies, we fed them. They sustain themselves off of that over and over again, right? So they love the humans with their emotions. So think of it as like creatures in the water and such that want to pull at your ankles and get you off the stability to go down the rapids in the waterfall, tossing and turning, tangling you. So all that drama story, the stage set, will only feed them from your sadness, your anger, your distress, your upset, right? So now with the new knowledge, remembering and understanding of what we were taking part of, that we could say, wait a minute, standing in your power. No, 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 no. I'm not going to take part in that anymore. That's going to be an old story, an old trigger, right? I'm pulling all the triggers out. I'm human. I felt it, right? Like I said, you felt it. You may be flung in the water off the dock a few moments because we come to feel. But the thing is that awareness, wait, wait, wait. Who am I going to feed through this? Take from me, right? No more. I'm not feeding all of that. I'm going to feed and nourish me, which means that trigger, you're standing in your power saying, you know what? No, I looped in that over and over, right? You got me. It was the thing that I was in over and over. My work also talks about, when someone treads a path over and over, the path gets worn. But they said what we have done is over and over doing this over and over, right? Stuck in this, which we're never supposed to have been stuck, this looping. We have made like a crevasse, a crevasse. Now, a crevasse, as we know, is very deep and slippery slope. So not that easy even to get out of. And that's why, right, work like this coming in, the work that you try to, help people with as well, right, to be a hand down, a rope down, right, to help them out of that crevasse, which would be the same triggers, the same old energies happening over and over again. We have to realize this is not just a trigger and emotion now. This is something that was feeding other forces, that I have walked through this over and over, life upon life, interactions with others over and over again, right? The beauty of this gift of now is also we're able to tie up loose ends with many, many people and beings, right? That we had these energies playing over and over again set up. So in those lower forces playing, we're fed through those same loops, those same groups interacting, different bodies, different faces, different stages set, but the same energies played out to feed them, right? That they say, those are your lessons, you didn't do good. Oh my goodness, right? That's a lower energy. But if we understand, we have come into creation not for lessons. We are eternal beings, right? We are walking through experiences to have that inner knowing of it, the taste, the touch, the smell of it. When we walk through experiences in creation, we come and have a knowing of it, the depth of knowing. We learn, that's where that became contaminated in that. We learn and know something of ourselves and about the thing. You see, that's a positive. You always take away a positive, a plus, a high energy. Not like in the lessons and lies that is, oh, you didn't do good. See that negative? You're stuck. I have to do it again. There's a whole different energy in that, beautiful ones, right? So get to this place. We are eternal beings. What are you going to do through creation? You're eternal. You play in your creations, you explore, you experience them, yes? And so you have creator through you experiencing itself, right? All of its creations, all of its aspects. So it's just time for us to remember that. So we look at it like that little, let's say, not little, but that human interaction. Look at it from the bigger eyes of what it really is at hand, what is going on, and what forces are at play there that we're empowering ourselves for, and say, no, like you said, no, no more of that, right? So you win that game, as you said, because you're coming out a strong, empowered being, not feeding your energy to those, right, to those things any longer by being wrapped in the story, the emotion, the attack, all of that. And that is part of being aware, being conscious. So we act and react in different ways. So we are in our beingness, right? A new being, right? Out of that old loop.
Just feel how empowering that is. That is wonderful, beautiful.
That's what I'm saying, Lauren. It could be much more simpler. It doesn't have to be all complex and
Right.
words and tripping over and trying to grasp all these concepts. Beautiful ones. We want to get you there. This is yours. Back to what is yours. And it doesn't have to be so complicated. Just some awareness and
Yes.
some help and assistance, right? So they can go at the quickest speed. Yes?
Yeah.
The quantum.
And I was going to say that really is quantum. That really is quantum, when we can be in this immaculate awareness, this supreme awareness of our energy, and move from there and create from there, being very present. That is the quantum field. And so we love that. Okay, so you help people, you help clients. And this is a way for people to work closer with you through your special offer that's available. And these are personal sessions. So share with everyone what goes on or what is in your special offer.
Well, we do have a couple of MP3s, and I was moved to make the MP3s because when you go on the shows, to offer something for people. So I actually made the MP3s. And then with people around the world that were getting them, they would all come back to me and say, oh my goodness, they're so powerful. They're so powerful, So they have that as a way and a means that they could begin a process. Then my work, you see, is about, like Spirit is saying, like a Christ, you touch them, right? Christ walked through everything, right? Walk through everything, accessible to everyone, right? So you touch them in a session. Bless who does books and whatever they do, but this is, we are laughing, crying, sharing, asking me questions, whatever they need, right? Because this is heart to heart, soul to soul, to be touched. That's what the new day is about: being approachable, being accessible, being love in one's beingness. So in this session, that is what we're, right, wrapped in, and we're being. And that's why it's a live personal session between me and whoever may come and take advantage of this beautiful work. And my work is called different things. Part of it is called the Butterfly Phoenix Project, because again, as a butterfly, what are we doing? We are going to that transformation, that metamorphosis, right? Transfiguration of ourselves, to raise as the phoenix, right? Those divine flames, right? Leaving the ashes behind as you soar. My work talks about the word knowledge. They said, look at the word knowledge. What is that? What is that word saying? That word is now at the ledge, now at the edge, with that knowing and understanding and that power. So you can step off that edge and ledge and soar. Another portion of the work is called Control Alt Delete, because I am assisting you that you understand, I don't want to do this right anymore, how you're feeling, what's going on. So you yourself are taking control. I assist you to make the alterations, right, through that. way of your taking control of things. So we do the alterations through this work, the light language, the Akash language, the fairies, the ancient ones, the Native Americans, the galactic, Kali, Shakti, the sacred key numerical code work, all of that will be coming in, and the beings of light who you can also speak with that are beautiful. So you have the control, alt, delete of the old, right? Because we're a system, right? Our DNA, you know, our conscious network and such. So we delete the old and we reboot, but to the new with that light poured back in your vessels, right? And as you go forth in the new creation, to be part of that by your resonance and your consciousness, right? Of higher vibration and frequency, because all is energy and light, yes? And all is sound, yes? So that is why this is coming through for you beyond English in sound and in the numbers, which are not contaminable. Then you have the last part, soul shine, it's called shine. And when you have the letter shine, shine is representational of S. S is the solar logos, first point, whatever you want to call it, God, creator, creation that you are part of. So that solar logos, that first point for S. Then you have H. H is for healing. And you put a W in front of it for wholeness, because we were fractured before. Now we want to take that, no longer being fractured, right? But that bringing it into the individualization, that healing and that wholeness. And then you have the letter I in the shine, which stands for the I am, right? The I am that you are a part of, yes? So, and again, that individualization rather than being fractured everywhere. So SHIN, N is representational of the now moment, because that is where the power is of creation, the now moment, right? And we are creating in the now moment, the new. So that N represents both of that. And the E represents eternal. You are an eternal being, right? Traveling through eternity. So this work at your soul level, which is your essence of your being, and yes, it ripples out to your physicalities, of course it would, but also tending, not leaving that out. What you truly are is a soul having experiences. So thusly assisting you with your soul shine as a soul architect, energy engineer. And that is some of the works that they will receive in this when they come and have a live private session. So it's like hands-on, this you of them and all the yous. That's the beauty of it. Nothing is left out, you know, like we were saying, of an intention. This is for all the story of them at their soul level, of all the aspects of themselves to be worked on and helped with. And they'll receive number codes through it, their own personal list. So they're going to go away with a tool that they can use in their lives. People will keep them under their pillows, in their purse. They'll recite them so they could use the energy besides what they are receiving in the session.
Okay, good. I want to clarify that then. You send them the codes that you speak.
They actually, we're going to do it on the phone or Skype or Zoom, however they like. And as I'm bringing them forth in that moment, I'm writing them and they're writing them. And I'm writing them because I want to make sure that they're receiving them properly, because sometimes the energy is so high, they may think they're writing a number when they actually didn't, you know. So at the end, after they finish writing them, then I go over it 2 or 3 times to make sure that they have the series properly. So it's all live. It all happens right there in that eternal now moment. We're using that power of that.
In that eternal now moment, the quantum moment, the quantum moment. Okay. Yes. It's going quantum is how we exit the matrix, and going quantum is the name of the game. And so we hope that people understand what that means to really go quantum. And that's what you do in your work, is you help people be very present and bust through these belief systems and old energies. So
yes, be re-educated, Lauren. You know, they must be this re-education, because what they think is real was only set up by so many systems and beliefs handed down over and over again, that was set up to keep them dumbed down and such, you know. So this is about no more being dumbed down, understanding the true of the beingness that has been happening in creation for out there for eons of time. The story played out, and they are a part of creation in the story. So for them to realize that, right, expanded, this is about an invitation to expand them. That's what quantum is, expansion. People talk about the divine plan. Do they think the divine moves slowly? The divine is You see, this is the divine plan, yes? To vibrate higher, pour the light back in, to go forth and write upon a new portion of a story of life in the book of life. And that's a beautiful thing, being in resonance, to take part in that, and have that which we are back to us, right? It's ours, it's our right. Give it back to us. Stop playing in games, the echelons, the layers, and all of this. Why do you want to just be the five? Like I said, it is all open to you. Do you want to be in free range? No, we don't want free range. We know where free range ends up, still on the plate, yes? So we want that freedom that is our birthright, accessibility to all that is out there if we are in resonance, that we decide what we want to partake of, rather than others are always giving away their power, that they think a being that is higher than them. The beings will come out of the woodwork always. Your point is you stand in your power again with that toe to toe and say, I am a creator being. This is what I would like to do, create or partake of. So you make that decision as a spark of divinity and expression, yes? Then have other beings. Do you want always other beings to be over you? Why? Then you're playing at that level of the game. Why do you want to take only a step up or two in the game? Hey, if you're in this, be in this, and that which you are, right? Step back into that. And this is an opportunity to assist them to play at the highest level of which they have emanated from in the first place.
Yes. Okay, so if you would like to access this beautiful special offer from Audrey Light Language, please check out the link on this webpage. I'm going to share this screen one more time so that it's there. It's a link here to your beautiful digital download and a personal session with you. And we did an online healing retreat with you. We're going to include that in this program as well, because that's very beneficial for people and it's helpful for people to revisit these recordings. So thank you for that. That is available. Okay, well, as we say goodbye this evening, Audrey, I just would like to give you a moment to close our sacred circle.
Beautiful one. Thank you so much. And thank you again for giving me this opportunity to share with you and your beautiful, beautiful community of listeners. Thank you so much, Loren. It was so beautiful. And I'll just speak some light language for all of them to set them off. Yes, beautiful one. So here we go. Una persona sani, peruntanone, thanone, 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 peruntanone, thanone, Thanone, sepa usha isa makarutarum. Vieni se la panton le leon cheris. Samayane turmaniane. Isasi cheris. Esasi, esasi, esasi. Esasi, esasi.
Thank you, Audrey Light Language and the Council of Light and the Beings of Light. This was a magical quantum conversation. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. And for our audience tonight, if you are interested in the special offer with Audrey Light Language, please check out the link that is here. It is at acoustichealth.com/special offers. And now it is time to feel this liberation from the energy and dance our way to the cosmic heart. Thank you. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.